We've reached the end. It's week 13. Some of us, this is our final hurrah. For others, the fun's just beginning, because it's almost playoff time. Playoffs? Yeah, I know some of you said it. Playoffs! It's here, boys. But first, we got to get through this week. It's week 13, the final week of the season. This year has flown by. Flown by. Before we get started, I just want to point you towards the message board down over here. Find out, pay your money, see how much you owe. You can send it to me by check. If you don't know my address, you can text me or call me and I'll give it to you. Or you can meet me in person. Or just, send it by bird or snail or something. Just make sure you give me the money. Let's do it soon though, before Christmas, so then I can get money distributed, to my pocket. Yeah, I called it. I called my shot. So either check the message board or go to the Facebook JaMar Cup site, and it'll also have the money there, who owes what. For the 3 guys that weren't at the draft, I still need your entry fee, so that's why it looks like you spent a lot of money. Also, for the 2nd year in a row, Matt is the big winner in money spent. Good job, Matt. What'd that get you? I told you, I'm being your earpiece all week. I'll be in there, just messing around. I mean, LaShawn McCoy got all up in there. Said, Dallas Cowboys can't see me. Dallas Cowboys can't catch me. Can't catch me. That's in the past, though. This weekend is a new slate of players to whoop your ass. But before we get to the previews, let's take a look ahead, in the future per se, and see how the playoffs are shaping up. Scott and Aro have been pretty steady all year, at least the latter half of the year, while the rest of us are knocking each other around. Scott is settled in at that 1 spot. Aro is settled in at the 2 spot. So those guys are by. Oh, you get first round buys. I'm sorry. You get first round. I got it. First round buys. I'm gonna have to talk to this script writer. He's terrible. So Scott gets the 1 seed. Aro gets the 2 seed. Next in the standings, we have Brandon. Can finish anywhere from 3rd to 6th. Brandon, you just got in. You're guaranteed to make it at least this year, so it's going to be a crazy weekend for you. You're going to finish 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th. Ain't that crazy? So you're in. You made it, though, at least. Good for you. Next, we have myself. I'll be hosting a first-round matchup because I will finish either 3rd or 4th. Because the jumbled mess behind me, I beat all of you. So, take that. So I can finish 3rd or 4th, depending on if Brandon loses. Maybe not. I guess I can finish 4th. Awesome. No, I can finish 3rd. Brandon, you lose. Kyle, I'm pulling for you this week, buddy. Get me to that 3rd spot. And Brandon, who knows what could happen. So I can finish 3rd or 4th. And then we get the fun stuff. All of you guys tied with 6 wins. There's 4 of you. Now, I find it very interesting that nobody plays another person. So all of the 6-win people have to play just randos, which I know Matt's used to, but he doesn't have 6 wins. So it's a story for a different day. But first off, leading the standings as we speak is Brad. Now I have done the research. I've tallied the numbers, and any of you guys can finish in 5th, 6th, or out of the playoffs. So I'm not going to spell it out for each one of you, but Brad can finish, like I said, 5th, 6th, or out of the playoffs. Because I think either way you're in, Brad, because you hold wins over all of the other 6-win teams. Unless you lose and everybody else wins, then you are screwed. Which I wouldn't mind, because then we wouldn't have to face Manning, we wouldn't have to face Rodgers. There would be no elite quarterbacks in the playoffs, which would be alright with me. So Brad can finish 5th, 6th, or out. Win, he's guaranteed in. A loss, he's going to need some help. Next is Mario, can also finish 5th, 6th, or out of the playoffs. With a win, Mario, you're in. With a loss, it's going to get dicey. You can lose, but you can get in if Jason and Brad lose. So, maybe slip some money in some other guys' pockets. I guess first you got to beat Arrow, which, hey, you knocked off Brandon last week. This week, you go get you some Arrow. You go knock him off. Then we come to Kyle, sitting in the 7th spot currently. Kyle, it's been a roller coaster season for you. Started off all right, and then you hit that uphill. Picked up speed. Demarius was killing it. Julius was killing it. You just rattled off a whole bunch of wins in a row. Now Julius is out, and you're kind of sliding. But there's always hope. You just got to win this week. But you're going up against Brandon, so it's going to be tough. But it's not impossible. So Kyle can also finish 5th, 6th, or out. With a win, he's in, possibly. If he gets wins and losses by Brad and Mario, you're in, Kyle. If you lose, just better luck next year. I'd really like to see one of you. You and Jason, sitting in 7th and 8th right now, are the only guys that have yet to make the playoffs in this league. I'm really pushing for one of you, just to, get that curse, get that monkey off your back. I'm really rooting for one of you. So like I said, Kyle can get in with a win and losses by Brad or Mario. Then finally we have Jason, who can finish 5th, 6th, or out. Jason needs to win and have losses by Brad and Kyle to get in, due to his beating of Mario. Beatdown. Oh, there's one more here at the bottom of the script. It says, Matt Ridgway. Matt Ridgway can finish in 7th. Shoot. It's too bad. It's too bad, Matt. No playoffs for you. No stuff for you. Sorry, man. Earpiece. I'm all up in your head. You don't even know what lineup to set. Which brings me to the preview. First off, we have the commish, 7 and 5. Versus It's Just a Joik, 5 and 7. Matt, what's just a joik is you didn't even start Joik, who scored you 22 points on your bench. At this point in the season, you don't need guys on your points scoring. You need them in your lineup. But let's see who you played instead of Joik. Shane Vereen, alrighty, he's 3rd on the depth chart. Andrew Hawkins and Mohamed Sanu. Or maybe you started a Browns receiver that nobody even knows about. So, it was a good season. Maybe Manning will score you 80 points this week, and you'll still lose, but you'll put up a good fight at least. So, unless you'd like to post some trash talk to the message board down over this way from the video preview, you can try, talk trash, but it ain't gonna fly. I hope you've been practicing. Which brings me to a side point before we get on to the preview, the rest of the preview. It's been brought to my attention that, you guys don't really like me doing the previews. You'd rather have the smack talk back. So, it's coming. Oh, the pain train's coming. Woo-hoo. But on to the previews. More previews. if you will. Next we have You Can't See Me, 6-6, versus the Dongshank Redemption at 10-2. I don't know how Scott does it. He's sitting at 10-2, first round, bye, sitting in first place. The last 2 weeks he scored like 170 points total and won. Now I don't know if that says more about Scott or his competition. Scott, I'm going to go ahead and say that your season hinges on Arian Foster's health. Because the last 2 weeks that he's been out, you've barely squeaked by with wins. Oh, but I see here late breaking news here to the JaMar Cup. You've added Dante Moncrief again. And dropped Chris Ivory. I think this harkens back to one of your previews, Scott, where you double faceplant, double. I mean, that's just dumb. You dropped Chris Ivory? That guy's like guaranteed for 9 points a week. And you picked up Moncrief. I don't think I have to say anything about that. Do I? I didn't think so. Next we have Something Clever here at 6-6 versus Redheaded Stepchild at 3-9. I told you, Dave, a curse is tough. It'll kick your ass. Get second 1 year, next year you can't do anything. I mean, I'm sure you'd like to say that it was the curse, but I think we all know that it was just shitty drafting on your part. So, too bad. Now, Jason, I mean, you ran into the buzzsaw at the wrong time. You know, you really needed that win, and you really needed Mark Ingram not to get that 1-yard touchdown in the first quarter, which he didn't, and he still didn't win. I guess that just means you're not ready for the big times yet. But hey, you could win, and you could get into the playoffs for the first time ever in your team's illustrious career. History, whatever. Mom, if you're watching, I mean, I just rattle this stuff off as it comes to me. I don't plan it out. I might say one word and then, oh, I really meant this word. So, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm going to keep working on it. I'm going to make you proud of me. So Jason can get a win and still not make the playoffs, but, 7-6 isn't a bad season. It's nothing to write home about, but it's over 500, which I don't think Kyle's ever finished. So, speaking of Kyle, the next preview includes you. You have to go up against Snit Squad at 7-5. You yourself are sitting at 6-6. Now, this is, you look at paper, or at least Brandon playing Kyle, you would think, oh, this would be an ass kicking. Brandon's just going to own him. Last year when we had rivals, it was Brandon and Kyle were rivals only because we couldn't find anybody else for them to be rivals with, because all the cool kids were taken. So, but you look at the rosters, and Brandon had that 12-1 season last year, or 11-2. Either way, it was a good season, but then you just got wiped clean right out of the playoffs. Didn't even place in the money. You number 1 seed, you don't place in the money, and this year it's been a totally different story. You're just hanging on, trying to finish above 500, and it's hard. This fantasy football game's hard. It's hard, dog. It is. Flip side of the coin, you got Kyle. Kyle's never finished above 500. I don't think Kyle's ever been close to 500. Kyle's never even seen a 500. Car, dollar bill, record. Okay, that was dumb. The last 10 seconds just scratched from your memory bank. That was dumb. I tried to be funny, but whatever. It's all this preview. You get in a rhythm of just doing previews, and the smack just isn't coming as easy. But I'll get it back. So we got Brandon versus Kyle. Excuse me. really know what Brandon's doing. He's playing 2 Cowboys receivers. You know, Dez, yeah, you got to play Dez. But you're playing Terrence Williams? That guy's ain't had a good week yet this year. I'm worried about you, Brandon. I don't know if it's too much of this Arizona getting in your head, but it's got to stop. Shit's got to stop. You're making stupid trade offers. You know, you're playing 2 Cowboys receivers, and you drafted Cordero Patterson, and I'm worried about you. If we need to intervene, we will. You can believe that. So, I don't know where this one could go. You know, normally you'd say Brandon's going to win easily, but Kyle's got a better team, and I mean, Julius Thomas is going to play, so I don't think C. Sims, Miami tight end, is going to carry you this week, but you never know. Mario pulled it off last week. Maybe Kyle can pull it off this week. That's why they play the game. And finally, we've got Johnny Heisman's at 9-3 versus Taste the Rainbow at 6-6. Can Mario make it 2 in a row to get himself in the playoffs? Now, while crunching the numbers, Mario had a pretty shitty year. I think you were sitting at like 3-5 or 3-4, Mario, and you know, just everybody was just laying the wood to you, just 140 points, 150 points, 112 points, and you lose, you know. That can get to a guy. I think you've been in the top 3 of scoring pretty much every year. Then, you hit the schedule at the right time. 3 weeks in a row, you knocked off big W's. He averaged over 150 points, Mario, in those 3 weeks. I don't think anybody's going to beat you scoring that much. Has Drew Brees turned it around? I don't know. Latavius Murray ain't going to do shit for you this week. So, be glad you didn't play him. Be glad you got those 3 points out of Frank Gore. Because he ain't playing. Murray ain't playing, Mario. Latavius Murray ain't coming through that door. I mean, it's not like anybody else on your bench could do anything. You know, that's the thing, Mario. You've been counting on Breeze a little too much, a little too long. It's got to stop. I told you, this is the year. You gotta trade him, get some value for him while he's still hot. It's going downhill quick. I mean, I guess you could keep Jimmy Graham, but you see what that got Brandon this year. Just one more win ahead of you. That's it. So, you gotta make it count this year. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in that garbage drafting rut you've always been in. Oh, I'll take Breeze, and then I'll take Dwayne Bowe, and I'll take Vincent Jackson, who's suspended for 8 games. And I'll take Ryan Matthews, who's injured for 4 weeks. But hey, you don't have to listen to me. I've only been to the championship game 3 times. In a row. Yeah, I know. Oh, how many have you won, Brown? How many have you won? It takes hard work to get there. Just ask the Bills. It takes hard work. Just ask Dave. I mean, you can't just roll out DeMarco Murray and Lamar Miller and Jamal Charles, Le'Veon Bell, and you just can't roll those guys out every day. Oh, A-Row can? Huh. How convenient. How inconvenient. Whatever, A-Row. I'm coming for you. I don't care who uses this as bulletin board material. I'm coming for you. You look me in the eyes real close. I can get closer so you can actually see my eyes, but you look right here. I'm coming for you. By the end of the year, that's what I'm going to be doing. Champ. Booyah. Oh, whatever, Scott. Your team's terrible. Your team is garbage. You know, it's not about who you play. It's about when you play them. You just got lucky. Now you're going to face the big boys when the lights are shining brightest. I think my lineup's got what it takes. Yeah, whatever. Arrow's got running backs up the wazoo. They'll probably score like 18 points a week. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough sledding. But I'm rolling them out there. I'm rolling out Jory. I'm rolling out... No, not Marshall. He's terrible. I'm rolling out Josh Gordon. I'm rolling out Shady. He's back. Shady's back. Back again. But I'm glad I don't have to play next week because he's got Seattle, so it's about 3 points. And you're dang right, Brandon. Stafford's back. Thank you for trade. I'd finish it here, but you never know who's listening. It could be deemed politically incorrect to say the R word. Ridgeway's got a kid at home that might hear this, so got to keep it classy a little bit. But thank you, because I'm taking Arrow to the woodshed in the championships. Mark, let's see, 21 minutes, 14 seconds. Brown guarantees championship. Guarantee. The commish. Yeah, you couldn't see what I did over here. I could have fingered you all. I could have. But I didn't. Because I'm a classy guy. So, you guys have a good last week. For those of you that aren't in the playoff race, it's been a pleasure this year. It's been a pleasure whooping your ass. But hey, have a good week. I hope for those 4 guys chasing those playoff spots that works out for you. So, best of luck. See you guys in the playoffs. Give me that money. Later.